Today I'm looking at a performance VW magazine from Europe. I thought, hey, why not do a video review of a magazine? I don't know if I've ever really seen something like that before, so let's jump right into it. I think it'll be fun. It's featuring some things that really caught my eye to begin with. Number one, a red R32 with twin turbos sticking out the hood that should be there. And then also, something that also caught my eye was an old school VW Jetta GLI with what looks to be an R32 swap in it. So let's get started. Some really cool content in here. I thought, hey, you know what? Why not? This thing's got some crazy aero. It's got a massive wing. It's got these crazy mirrors, super wide flares. It's got these like aero covers over the front wheel. It's pretty cool. I turned like page 9 and it's already here. So they didn't waste any time bringing this to my attention. First off the bat, Lexan windows. This is like full-on show car. It's really radical. The way they mounted this wing is pretty trick. It looks like it's mounted somewhat up and underneath the rear deck lid, the rear trunk, and onto the back trunk. I don't know if that's the most solidly mounted thing in the world, but nonetheless, I think it's cool. No carpets whatsoever in this thing. It's just got some really cool red painted floor with a, what do they call that? The dimple dye. At least in my opinion, very confusing to kind of look at and see. Turning the page here though, it's got a moonroof still, which I think is funny. One thing that I didn't realize from before is that R32s are very compact for their size. Obviously, as the name suggests, it's 3.2 liters, which is pretty sizable, I would say, for a 6-cylinder engine, but it's like the size of a 4-cylinder. It's very compact. If you didn't know anything about the VR6, go look it up. There's tons of YouTube videos on it. One side note too here is that they did these weird like bullets on top of the strut towers for the shocks, or the air ride struts. Really odd, but cool, whatever. It's a show car, you know, and I guess there are no limits to what a show car can or cannot have, so be it. Really sick looking, what is this, Mark 8 Golf GTI? I actually really think it's cool when they color match the reflector on the side of the car. I see that a lot, specifically with BMW M3, M4s. Pretty cool. There's always like, I remember growing up and seeing a bunch of car-related magazines, and you always flip to the back, and man, they got the gosh darn weirdest advertisements for like Viagra and all these male enhancement pills that you can take. I always thought that was weird when I was growing up, but kind of makes sense to appeal to the target demographic, if you know what I mean. Always really cool ads and these kinds of things. I specifically found this magazine in a Barnes & Nobles, actually, funny enough. Yeah, people still go there, okay? Tom Segura actually just had his book signing at this very one, so I don't want to hear it. Okay, we're getting to one of the cooler things. Don't get me wrong, the R32 was cool, but I think this GLI is even better. So turning the page here, I was right. This thing is R32 swapped, and man, this thing is clean. Back in the day, your boy used to have a Rabbit. Nothing special. It was a Wolfsburg edition, and it was blue. I think I could probably throw up a picture just to show you kind of what it looks like. Nothing crazy, but I thought it was pretty cool. It was an 8-valve. It was, it got me from point A to point B. It was actually pretty spacious inside. I remember like burning up the clutch in that thing in San Francisco, fully loaded with 4 people. Just a ton of weight, and some bikes on the roof actually. On first glance, this thing is extremely clean, and down to like the period correct stuff as well. Like the exhaust kind of comes down and up and shoots out kind of out of that bumper cutout, which I think is the rear wing. Super cool. And just the engine bay, all the wires are tucked, you can't see anything. It's clean, brother. It's clean. I love the wheels. It's still 4-lug. Look at these old school Recaro seats. That's dope. Man, it does have some cool details. It's got like a RPM gauge in the air vent. It's got these really nice aluminum window winds. It's got an R32 badge on the dashboard. Now that's attention to detail. Very clean, very nice car. Very clean, dude. Not a big fan of the Mark 5 Golf GTIs very much. It just doesn't do it for me. Even when they're done up nicely like this one, it just doesn't do it for me, man. I will say it's cool looking though. It's got a really cool carbon fiber front grille area. It's got a front carbon fiber lip, carbon fiber mirror caps, carbon fiber, I think that's it. Oh, It's not it. There's carbon fiber like coolant reservoir, carbon fiber dash cowl thing. It's got a trim panel with carbon on it. It's nice. It's clean, dude. It's clean. I will not deny that. We also got these here in America, so it's not like I'm seeing anything crazy or weird. I think that's the thing that appeals to me the most. Like, I'll go over there and watch like the Humble Mechanic. Watching like ShopDap.com, watching them work on these cars makes me want a VW Audi product again for some weird reason. I don't know what it is, but they have a great time working on them. The complexity and the nuances of VW Audi products doesn't bother these guys for some weird reason, and I just think it's funny. But like, if you get it right, it can be really cool. This one's really cool though too. I mean, it's got red leather. It's got a manual. It's got a manual. No DSG here, folks. That's unique. He has a cage in it, which is pretty cool. But he also has back seats still, so that's funny. Ooh, settle down. Number one, it's got some very nice rotiform wheels. Let's get that straight right now. But in addition to that, behind those wheels, he's got these, what look to be like Audi R8 brakes. That's another thing that I thought is really cool about these Euro cars, is that they can have the same hub design for the most part as higher end vehicles, and they can swap out the brakes for something a lot bigger and a lot cooler, which I always think is really cool. Nice little VW show over here. A new low show. This is dope from 2022. We got some really cool stuff, man. And I think just a good set of wheels and some lowering springs even, you'd be set, man. I like those a lot. Don't know about the reliability about those, but nonetheless, very cool. Okay. Ooh, cool. The Holy Grail Mark III A59 all the way from Wolfsburg. This thing was dope. Oh, this was featured not too long ago in a Hoonigan special where they actually drove this car. That was really cool. Do they have any RS3s in here? Very close, I guess. It's an S3, so yeah, not quite the same. It is cool to see the people with enthusiasm for like the weird stuff, you know? I'm not always about it, but I can appreciate it. And I think that's the thing that's been lost a lot here in the last like 10 years or so, where you have a build, it could be weird, it could be something different, but I think if you're a car person in general, you have an appreciation for Jimmy, who is over here working on his mom's old Suburban that he got handed down, or you know, Bobby over here who's working on this old Saab. You know, it might not be your cup of tea, but you can still appreciate that they have enthusiasm for this weird platform and that they're trying to make it their own and make it cool. I don't know. I think that's lost. There's a lot of hate. There's a lot of like, oh, well, that's not cool. Duh, duh, duh. You drive an HHR. Hold your comments, will you? Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Now this is clean, brother. 8-valve GTI Golf. Yeah, dude, this is clean, brother. Clean. It was a cool US spec car. There is something to be said too about like Euro culture here in America. I think it's really funny that people are trying to make their US spec cars the Euro spec cars, and it's just making it something that you never got here, and that in and of itself is the appeal for somebody to do all this work with the bumpers or whatever you might be lacking. And I think that's really interesting too. I mean, what? No way. If this is a real R32, this guy is crazy. He lifted it. It's got some crazy bumpers, a roof rack. Wow, some fender flares, some exhaust. It's got a rear skid plate, like a... Yeah, dude, this thing is wild, brother. I would rock that all day. And it gets such good mileage, too. It's crazy. Really cool stuff. Yeah, just going through something different. I don't really ever see, like, magazine reviews on YouTube. Maybe that's for a good reason. We'll find out. McGuire's. Big in Japan. Huh. The Euro scene's big in Japan. Who knew? Some Inkeys on a Mark 6? I think that's Mark 6. You might be laughing at me. This is... I am not a VW nerd or like Audi fanatic, but I do appreciate it, and that's why we're like, R36? Ooh! R36, brother. Now that's one that's slept on a lot. I don't think a lot of people in America know about the R36. There's actually a lot of stuff that I don't feel like gets enough recognition here in America. Putting that out there. New Golf R, not the biggest fan. I'm really not. This piece of trash, Polos for 2,000 pounds. Whoa, Golly, brother, settle down. He's asking 24,000 pounds for this piece of junk. I mean, call me crazy, but I don't think it's worth that much. Ooh, yeah. VW crew cab for sale for 15,000 pounds. That's what, like $18,000? Something like that. Pretty stinking cool. That's my video review of the Performance VW magazine. Thanks for watching.